we're having yummy food. We're going to do 3 recipes and all wellness focused. And they're easy. They're really easy. And we'll probably be here until 6:30 my time. So about an hour and a half, about 30 minutes per recipe. But I've done some of the work ahead of time. So while I get some ice cubes, will you guys let me know if any of you are trying to cook with me? And if so, what you are trying to cook in lifetime. I'd love to hear. Okay. What's in the oven? Anything? No. Okay. I love ice. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. No one's cooking with me. Okay. That makes my life easy, doesn't it? Okay, so why don't we do this? We have got 3 things, and they're all things I love doing for lunch because when I do this salad, which literally, this is a version of the salad I'm putting in my new book because it's like, what's the salad that you want to eat every day of your life or that you can throw together every day of your life when you're rushed and mix and match it a little bit and it's still delicious. And so I came up with like some main components and the simplest vinaigrette for it. So I want to show you that because what I tend to do is just make the vinaigrette on a weekend, like on Sunday, and maybe I'll cook a couple of things. Like I cooked off some chicken to have for it to use throughout the week. You can hard boil eggs, you could do a little bacon, and grab some like extra yummy ingredients. And then you just mix and match things throughout the week and you have a delicious salad. So we've got that. We've got a new version of the creamy tomato soup that I love so much. And I just keep riffing on this because it keeps getting better. And the one I have going in the book has cream as an option. But when I was working on this blender project last week, I tried it without cream and it was so good. So we're going to do it without cream tonight. You can make this and have it around all week. You can freeze it, which is awesome. And then we have got these bowls that I am riffing on. And basically what I did is I did this sesame Asian marinade. You guys are getting like a total sneak peek of my new book. This sesame Asian pear marinade that I made for the book. We do it with tofu and with chicken in the book, with chicken thighs, and it's delicious as a braise. But tonight I was messing around with it and I actually strained it because what I wanted to do was see what it's like kind of as a dressing as well. So like when I marinate things in it, I don't mind that you have the fiber from the Asian pear and from the ginger in it, but as an actual dressing to kind of drizzle over rice or chicken or tofu or avocado, I was curious. So I want to see how this is. Let's just see. It's delicious. You could just add more sesame oil to it to kind of like thicken it up a little bit. Erna, the book's not coming out until the end of October, which sounds like far away, but it'll be here before we know it. It goes to print in a matter of weeks. And so it takes about 7 months at the printers because it goes to China to print. They have all the paper and all of the ink for the majority of book printing in the world. And because of COVID, especially, it used to be like a 5 to 6 month process. Now they allow extra time because people aren't working consistently there. They've been out of some of the papers that we tend to use the most. I mean, it's just been like a big hot mess for the past couple of years. And so I'm sure they're playing it safe by telling me that's enough time. But literally there have been stories where people's cookbooks have gotten like lost or like an entire pallet fell off a boat on the way here on a cargo ship and they just didn't get here. Like there have been some bad stories. So end of October, but my stress, the work happens within the next few weeks, the final pieces of it. So we're connecting the dots on that right now. Okay, so for kicks, friends, because you're here and tuning in live with me tonight, and anybody who goes back and watches, I'm doing an extra little bonus recipe. I just took grated Parmesan cheese, and I scooped out about 2 tablespoonfuls onto a sheet pan that's got parchment paper on it. You could certainly just use a nonstick pan, but I'm going to make these little cheese crisps that act like crackers to go with the creamy tomato soup. They're kind of awesome. So I want to show you what they look like and just show you how easy they are to make. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. I think the recipe says 400. That's in the book. Again, I'm just showing you everything. for like 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to do them for a little less than that. And let's see, because the edges get really brown and curly and they're beautiful. But I thought it'd be fun to have a little cracker. Let's just see here. Okay, in they go. For, let's say 6 minutes, and let's see what happens. What's that first timer for? Oh, there's another timer going because, guys, I'm just doing all kinds of things without you tonight. I cooked some brown rice ahead of time. I got to admit, I am a white rice fan. I was into brown rice for a really long time, and I appreciate the health benefits of it. There are more health benefits to it. However, I really like white rice when I am eating it with particular recipes. And so for this bowl that I'm concocting, I figured I'd do brown rice. I did a short grain rice, like a sushi rice, right? And I'd see how I like it. It takes a lot longer to cook because you still have that outer coating on it, which is basically the part that's good for you. They strip it down, and that's how you get white rice. And like the highly glycemic part that's left. But I want to see what it tastes like so that we can compose a bowl with some marinated tofu. You could certainly do chicken. You could skip the tofu or chicken altogether, and you could just do avocado, cucumber, carrot, green onion, all the other things we're going to put on there. But I thought it would be fun to at least give the brown rice another try, right? I mean, all in the name of health. So let's do it, shall we? I just want to marinate this tofu for a little bit in the marinade that I have. I'm going to point the camera down towards my cutting board. And guess what, friends? My friend is stopping by tonight. You might meet him because he's stopping by between my Instagram live and this to pick up some of this food. But we've got a camera person coming to help me this week to advise on how I can set some cameras up so I'm not constantly messing around with the cameras myself and moving my laptop around. So guess what? We're going to go get all fancy this year and make it so things are set and it's easier to watch. And I'm not bending down like this to talk to you. So if a stranger walks in my house, you'll know it's not a stranger. And he's here to pick up some food because I'm making so much food and my kids aren't around and Sunny's not around. And I need to, I just hate it when I have extra food and no one to eat it. Big pet peeve of mine. So I want to marinate some of this tofu. Why not, right? Let's get, you guys, I've dirtied so many dishes in my kitchen already today. And I'm laughing because I emptied the dishwashers so that I'd be ready to go after this and load them up. But this is that Hodo, H-O-D-O soy tofu again. And it's made here down the street in Oakland. And it is absolutely phenomenal. I've been lucky enough to go get a tour and watch them make it. And it is fantastic. And so from a quality standpoint and a flavor standpoint, I'm a fan. So I don't use a lot of tofu typically because I'm a little bit too dependent probably on meat and fish and chicken, poultry, all of it. I love it all. But I am trying to use more of it, and it's absolutely delicious with the flavors in the marinade. So if I were going to give it some real time, I'd let it even sit in this marinade for probably half a day to really soak up these flavors. And all I did for the marinade was combine everything in my blender, which included some Asian pear, which is my secret ingredient. And then I did some tamari, which is gluten-free soy sauce, sesame oil, some rice wine vinegar, sweet mirin, actually, but you could use sherry wine if you want. I'm looking at my ingredients. Some anise seed, ginger garlic. What else am I forgetting? A little brown sugar. And I blended it, and then I strained it. So let's get a bowl, and I'm going to marinate a small amount of this, just a little bit. And then I'm going to save the rest of the marinade to kind of drizzle over our bowls, okay? I'm remembering someone else is eating my food tonight, so I'll try not to double dip. Feel free, as always, by the way, to ask questions tonight. How many of you got to see Josh on here the other day? Was that that just yesterday morning? No, that was Monday morning and today's Wednesday, right? I loved having him on as a speaker. He was just really amazing. Let me just check on my cheese toasts. Well, he was wonderful, wasn't he, Jenny? That's right. You were on. He was just so great. Oh, that was my timer for the rice, actually. Ooh, hi, fluffy rice. The brown rice is looking really, really good. It has to cook for 45 minutes instead of like 15 to 20. So let's see how it is. Actually, ooh, it's getting there. You just don't want any bite to it, right? You're following him on Instagram now. You know what, Susan? I just find him to be so wise. And then I hadn't heard his whole story. I picked up on the fact that he'd had some, parental issues. And brown rice is nutty. And in this case, I don't mind it. It needs about 5 more minutes. So if you guys don't see me, turn it off in 5 minutes. Will somebody yell at me? But Susan, yeah, he is really amazing. And what I find so amazing about Josh is that instead of being stuck in the story about what happened to him, he's found a way to move through it and share that with so many other people. I mean, he's really changed my attitudes about my own life and what's happened with my family. It was just amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that about your mom, Susan. But, some of those relationships are so tricky as well, which I found most people don't like to talk about. It's more comfortable to just be like, oh, yeah, my parents might drive me crazy or we had our problems, but just like ignore it or push it down. And in his case, and in mine, frankly, some things happen that you just can't, like he said, maybe you're not supposed to get past. You're supposed to just process it, but it's not like you want to just pretend it didn't happen. Yes, I felt the same way. Like he was in my head. That's why I reached out to him. I was like, it's like you're in my head and you're speaking directly to me. I'm going to check our cheese crisps. I'm glad it's a loose arrangement around here, friends. Ooh, look how pretty these are. They become like lace. What are those little Florentine cookies, right? These are the little cheese toasts. If I let them sit on here for a minute or two, I'll probably be able to pull them up with this fish spatula. I'm going to leave them out. And I'll give the rice a couple more minutes before I turn that off. And then I'm going to let the cheese crisps sit, and then we'll pull them off, and I'll show you what they look like. They end up like little lace cookies. They're beautiful, but they're perfect to go with the tomato soup because the tomato soup is so clean and tasty. And these are just like a fun little crunchy thing to have on the side. So just a little something extra. I'm going to move my camera up just a little bit so I don't have to bend over. Oopsie. It's a classy setup I got going over here, friends, right? Okay, now you can kind of see my head while I chop an onion, and I'm going to make this soup. And then after the rice rests, we'll bake the tofu and we'll assemble that bowl, okay? So I'll get the soup cooking while we wait for that. Okay, let's talk tomato soup. I have made so many versions of this. And the funniest part is that I'm not really a soup lover, to be honest. I order it a lot when I go out because I don't really like to make it. But I'm changing my tune because I'm having so much fun making all of these soups and realizing they can be so good for you without a lot of effort, and that the ingredients I've always relied upon heavily for flavor, including butter, cream, and the traditional things that we tend to lean towards when we want fat and flavor, they're not needed here. And so, sorry, I'm just looking for another knife as always. I can't wait to show you this version of my tomato soup. Again, you are just getting like my most, like I'm just throwing things at the sink at this point. You are getting the newest versions of everything I do before they're even being shared with the world. Like this recipe is for a product that's not even launching until the fall. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do another, we're going to do like a knife skills class on here. I've had so many requests for it and I keep forgetting to schedule one. So maybe for February, we'll just do life skills for one of our House of Pasta classes. Okay, I'm just dicing this onion up. This is a yellow onion. For this soup, you could use red, you could use white. For some reason, I get really hooked on certain types of onions for certain recipes, and I don't know why, because I love using red onion in pasta sauces. I use white onion when I'm using them raw in tacos. I think it's because it's what I'm used to seeing in other cultures and what they use, but honestly, use whatever kind of onion you like, okay? I'm gonna turn off the rice, and now I'm gonna saute this onion for the soup. Let me move this aside and get another pan for the soup. You'll be shocked at how easy this recipe is. Before I start it though, let me show you these little cheese crisps. Okay. Aren't they cute? These lacy little Parmesan cheese crackers. I think I'll put them on a plate to be fancy. Yeah, let's put them on here. These are gonna be so cute, aren't they? Okay, hold on. Then I'm gonna eat one just to make sure they're tolerable. Gotta check my own work. Oh my gosh. Look at how pretty they are. They're like little spider webs. Aren't they gorgeous? Here. Mmm. Chewy cheese. Who doesn't love that? I'm so spoiled. Just gonna have one more bite, sorry. Kind of rude that I get to eat in front of you all the time, huh? Okay. Soup. I'm gonna put these onions straight in here. Along with some oil and garlic, I'll eventually add. You'll notice I'm not fretting that I haven't turned it on yet. It's all gonna cook just fine. I want olive oil for flavor. I see my avocado oil. Is this my olive oil? Oh, it is. Okay. All right. Probably 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 I just put in there. I've already got some canned chopped tomatoes back there that I've opened. Let's talk about dairy. Yes, I do try to reduce my dairy. And it's funny that I made these because I took the cream out of the soup, right? So I do go through phases of reducing my dairy because I feel better without it. Or not, I prefer goat cheese too. Or I should say my body prefers goat cheese. I prefer cow's milk all the way. But so you certainly don't need these. These are fun. If you eat bread or you like crackers, you could do some fun like little toast on the side if you wanted to. I'm just looking for some crunch to balance the silkiness of the soup we're going to get. Okay. Well, those onions start to saute. I'm going to put the tofu and its marinade right on the sheet pan. Actually, all that marinade is going to kind of burn because it's got brown sugar in it. So I should have strained it first. Again, you get to learn from my mistakes, my friends. Verna, I can't thank you enough. You guys, I've just gotten like the sweetest outreach from a few of you over the holidays. People writing me notes and sending little presents. And I just have to tell you, they make my day. They make me want to do what I do. And I'm writing this big blog post to everybody. All of my readers, that's taken me like 2 days to write. And it's really about why I do this and why all of you are the reason I do it. So thank you for that. We're just messing around here. My oven's at 375. Let's see what it looks like in 10 minutes. We are guessing. Oh, I should have also mentioned that I'm just on a tear of wanting to bake things instead of cook them at the cooktop because it's harder for me to interact with you when I'm over there. So I did, when we tested this recipe for the book, we did it in a pan and we put some cornstarch on the tofu and it got crispy and it's flipping delicious. But I was like, let's see what happens in the oven tonight because why not, right? So all I'm trying to do is put these onions down to where they are translucent and a little bit soft. And then we're going to get my garlic. Let's add some garlic to this. You guys know how I feel about garlic, onions, shallots, all of these alliums, which add so much flavor to recipes. And they all have so many great healing, anti-inflammatory properties. All of them are a little bit different. If you're sensitive to alliums or if you've ever had a doctor tell you you might be, you can certainly cook most of these recipes without them. Or if you want to leave out the garlic and just use the onions or use shallot instead, you certainly can. I just lean on them really heavily for flavor and things, whether it's a green onion, a shallot. This is a pretty bad piece of garlic, actually. Not bad, sad. Shallots, green onions, garlic, yellow, red onions. I love them all. I'm just trying to get the little dry ends cut off. If there are any super green parts, I remove that. And then there was one clove that was just kind of rotten. Don't you like that I get to multitask here? I wouldn't recommend it. My brain doesn't really work that way, but it's fun to try with all of you. And that's on low enough. I'm assuming one of you will tell me if I set something on fire, right? Okay, I'm just going to mince this garlic. There's one little green part I want to show you. When it starts to sprout through the middle. Can you see that? That green part right there? I'm going to toss it. I'm going to add it to my garbage pile. Okay, now let's just continue to mince the rest. And I'm going to eventually put this in with my onions. Chop, 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 chop. I find this to be so meditative. I forget when people are like, can you buy chopped garlic? You certainly can. I took the rice off the stove. Thank you, Jenny. I turned off the heat and I just moved it over. So we're good. We crank that up a little bit. I'm just going to rinse a little bit of this garlic off my fingers. Excuse me. I thought I cut myself. I did not. It's my... I got my nails done for an event, which I never wear colored nail polish, and it's so funny. It's the red nail polish that just chipped off. So silly. Look at me cleaning as I go, friends. The new Amanda. I'm curious what most of you eat for lunch. Oh, good for you, Susan. That's awesome. I'm glad you learned a new little trick. Do most of you go out for lunch or like grab something, or do you eat at home? And if you eat at home, what do you like to make? I don't like knowing that I would have to prepare a real lunch every day. And so that's why I try to have a couple things that I can lean on where they're either already made and I can heat them up, or it's like some transformation of a leftover into something new. I do the same thing for breakfast a lot. Let me add a little bit of salt to these onions. You love leftovers? Tell me everything, Jane. I want to know. Leftovers, small sandwich, and large salad. Pork tenderloin sandwich. Ooh, yum. I do stacked quart mason jars every weekend and have the instant salad. Erna, that's amazing. I do, well then you'll like this because all I'm doing is giving you some new ideas for those mason jars with the salad idea I'm doing, right? So you could totally do these in advance. That's so brilliant. Since I work from home, I tend to like make a mess every day at lunch, or I just, I'm so spoiled and then I'll be like, well, what have I made? What can I do? I'm just always experimenting in here, right? Instead of like stacking up my cute little mason jars. But with that, it means that I make messes all day long. veggie burger or eggplant patty with avocado, roasted peppers, etc. in a low-carb wrap. That sounds amazing. Today I made for lunch and breakfast, I took an avocado, some little corn tortillas, and some goat cheese, some pomegranate seeds, some chicken, some leftover cooked chicken, and some spinach. And I sauteed the spinach, I heated up the tortillas, and then I heated up the chicken. And I had some salmon for one of those, some cooked salmon, and I just like threw it all in a tortilla. It was so delicious. I love things like that. Oh, I want to add my garlic before I add my lime juice. It's a lot of garlic. What do we say? In it goes. Like I said, I'm serving most of this food to my friend and his children. Oh, and his tutor, who took my Clover class and follows me on Instagram, and he won the prize. His name's Philip. I'm embarrassing him now. He's not in this class, but he is the sweetest student at St. Mary's College, which is very close to where I live. So Philip stopped me one day at Whole Foods and introduced himself. He's like, "Hi, I'm your friend's kid's tutor, and I follow you on Instagram, and I love to cook." And he was so darling, and I was all sweaty in my workout clothes. And then he signed up for my Clover class, and he won the prize. And so I got to go meet him in a crazy rainstorm to give him his prize, and he's just the sweetest. So he gets to eat some of this food tonight because he's at my friend's house tutoring the kids. It's all, so they all get massive amounts of garlic, right? So I added the garlic, and I'm just giving it enough time to be fragrant but not burned. And I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice to this. You guys can hold me accountable how much it says I use. A couple tablespoons? Let's just see. I can always add more, but I'm actually using it to deglaze the pan, right? Because there's some caramelized sugar at the bottom of the pan from the onion. So by adding this lime juice, it's going to bring up the sugars from the bottom of the pan, and we're going to get to enjoy those flavors instead of it sticking. So you can see now the pan is back to just its normal color, right? All of the goodness is added into the garlic and the onions. And thank you, lime juice. So now what I'm going to do, after I clean my workspace, is add the tomatoes and the stock, and we're going to take it from there. You guys, I had the best conversation yesterday with my friends at Fond Bone Broth. I can't wait to share some new stuff with you that they're doing. They're just amazing. Their products are incredible, and they're the first bone broth company to have regenerative bone broth, which means the land that they raise their cattle and chickens on is all certified regenerative, which means so many things for our planet and for our well-being. It's crazy. What pan am I using? I'm using Heston, which is one of my favorites. They are not inexpensive. These are the pans that I bought to last a lifetime. I have discounts on them for everybody. If you go to their website, HESTAN, you enter code Amanda20, I think, and you get 20% off when you check out. But they're amazing. Okay, in go my little canned diced tomatoes. If you like fire roasted, there's a little smokier. You can certainly use those. I'm using extra. I called for, I know myself so well. I believe I called for 18 ounces of crushed or diced tomatoes in the recipe. That's because most jars of crushed tomatoes, are sold in an 18-ounce size. I only have cans. So I'm going for two 14-ounces, so 28, 29 ounces here, actually. And then I'm going to add the stock. And the thing is, I don't have my homemade stock tonight. I really wish I did. It makes a huge difference between tasting okay and tasting phenomenal. I'm going to get over it. And again, any meal made with love is going to be amazing. But normally I would use my homemade chicken broth or homemade veggie broth or Fond. Their bone broth is amazing. So I'm hoping we'll do some work together, and I'll use their products in my recipes and show you how amazing it is. So they're coming out with just a basic plain bone broth because they do a lot of really interesting flavored ones for people who want to intermittent fast or do something if they're on any special diets for taking care of their gut or kind of restoring themselves, you know. What's my timer for? The tofu. Hold on. Woo! Crunchy, crispy, beautiful. And it burned on the pan like I thought it would. See all the sugars? See all that brown? That's all the sugar. That's the brown sugar from the marinade. And it slipped onto the pan. That's why I love my parchment so much. But let's taste this and see what I think. I think what's going to be good. This is what I want to do. I want to let it cool a little bit, and then I'm going to drizzle more of the marinade on it. Yum! Let's do that. Questions, comments, friends? I'll write down, Ruth, the name of the pan as well. But if you go to, I believe, Heston.com, HESTAN.com, or HestonCookware.com, you'll see it. Let me see what happens when I do this. When I dip a piece of the tofu, Oh, yay, Erna, that's fantastic. Yeah, abstinence is great, as is seed lip. It's not inexpensive. I don't know what these cost. Seed lip is like the cost of hard alcohol, but they have some really interesting flavors, and it adds so much to my evening. And it's so nice to not just drink like sparkling water if you want to be alcohol free, right? You'll notice, you guys, I left some of the chicken stock out because what I want to see is when I blend it, if I like the texture and if I like the balance of the tomato acid to the chicken broth. So I'm going to wait and see if I want to add this later. What I do want to add to this right now, though, is some mint. Now, you can certainly use basil in this soup, too. I'm into the mint. I love it. I'm just on a mint tear. Tarragon would be delicious here, too, if you like tarragon. Mint, basil. Let's let some of it just kind of simmer in there. The coolest thing about this, too, is that you just don't have to let it cook that long. We're going to let it simmer for probably 5 to 10 minutes and cool before I blend it. But it is just so dang easy. And then once you whiz, you can freeze it. I froze tomatoes that I grew. Can I use them in the soup? Absolutely. Jenny, do you have something that you do to puree the tomatoes? You can either like whiz them in a food processor or a blender. And then if you want to strain the seeds out, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to save a little bit of this and a little bit of that while we wait for the soup to keep simmering. Let's take a look at the rice and see. Woo-wee! I don't want to. Gonna fluff it up a little bit. I love butter on rice. It reminds me of when I was little and I was sick. Actually, I think my mom used margarine because margarine was so popular in the 70s. Mazola, right? The texture is really nice. It's really delicious. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go crazy. Watch this, friends. I'm busting a move, and I'm going to drizzle some of the marinade into the rice. What? She did what? The thing is that's so cool about this, I made a huge batch. I made 2 cups of rice. You can let it cool. You obviously can keep this in the fridge and then fry it in a pan with some oil and some veggies throughout the week and do fried rice. You can certainly do all kinds of things. Use it for breakfast, serve it with eggs, make an actual fried rice where you add more soy sauce and other flavors and egg and veggies and sausage and anything else you want. But I want to see what this tastes like. As you can tell, I'm into my marinade. Let's add a little bit more. I don't want to use all of it because I want to save some to drizzle onto the tofu and the avocado and the green onion and everything else. Woo! Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. I don't mind if this gets like sticky and yummy that way too. Because. That's delicious. I want more. I've got to save enough. But that's flippin' delicious. This would be so good with a piece of fish, just baked or broiled over the rice, maybe with some bok choy, and then drizzled with the marinade. Oh my gosh. Let's build a bowl, shall we? I want to build a whole bowl for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a bowl. Shocker. I'd like you to get a bowl. Let's get a bowl where we can build a really pretty version of this. Okay. That's probably a polite amount of rice. That's probably more than a polite amount. I want kind of like a bed to build because here's what we're going to have in here. We're going to have cucumber, avocado, carrot, mint or another green if you'd like, tofu. Oh, this is just going to be so good. Okay, let's set that aside. What else do I need out of the fridge? I need a carrot. Oh, do I still have one is the question. Please. I do. Oh, you know what I'm going to do with the tofu? I just realized. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of it, and I'm just going to let it sit in that marinade again. Well, I'll take all of it, and let's just do this. Drizzle, drizzle. Are we good, guys? Do we have any questions? Oh, good. You used the food processor for the tomatoes, Jenny? That's great. Come back. Marinade. Don't tell anybody if I just use this spoon already. I was thinking about how much the world has changed, right? About with COVID and everything else, but then how you start to relax. And somebody just told me, oh, last night at a basketball game, they were getting over COVID for the third time. And I was sitting right next to her, and it didn't scare me. I just thought, oh, like at a certain point, you kind of relax again, right? This is so good. I can't even explain it. Okay, let's chop some carrot. Here's where I get silly too, you guys. When I'm making a bowl with vegetables, one of the things I like to do is try to vary the cuts so things look interesting, right? Because when things look pretty, we want to eat them. So I just cut a carrot on the bias, right? Like at a very sharp angle, and I have these slices, thin slices that look like that. And now what I'm going to do is cut across them so that I get, I'm lining them up because I think it's fun to cut them like this. You can even overlap them, but then you just cut them the long way. You can hear my soup simmering. So I'm going to get these beautiful little julienne strips, right? If you didn't cut them on the bias and you cut straight across the carrot, you just get tiny pieces, right? You get, that's how long they'd be. But by cutting them on the bias, you get longer pieces of carrot to start with. Tricky, tricky, right? Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm traveling next week to see some girlfriends. And I'm going to Austin. And I was in Austin in August because I have family there. And I had some great meals, but I can't wait to go eat in a new city again, do something different. Okay, so I have my beautiful carrots. Let's look at my, I know I have a cucumber. There it is. This is an English cucumber, which I like. It's seedless, but all that means is that the seeds are edible. They're not big and pronounced in a way that get in your way, right? So you could either dice this. It might be fun to dice it. You'll dice it. It'll be cute. And then I have green onion as well that I want to use. I always want some sort of like oniony flavor to balance things out. But oh, you know what else? I'm gonna dice some of this for my salad as well. So killing two birds with one stone here. See all those little seeds? You can remove the middle part if you'd like. It's softer. It's kind of like less exciting, you know, so feel free to do that. Did I just cut that poorly? Let's just do that. We'll get rid of that piece. And then we'll just dice this up. You can do really small dice if you want, so people can get everything on one spoon or fork, or leave it a little bit larger, whatever you prefer. This is going to be pretty though. Let's see what we said. Sesame. Oh, that's right. You could certainly use those others. What I would start with, don't have the soy sauce or tamari. Start with like a tablespoon of the hoisin or the oyster sauce, Ruth, and whisk it in without sesame oil and taste it and see what you think. And then when you would where you would use oil, I would use like an avocado or another neutral oil like grapeseed to kind of thin out the marinade a little bit without adding a ton of flavor. Like obviously olive oil, not good for this. Sesame, so rich and nutty. If you don't like sesame, you could also use like an almond oil. Like grapeseed or avocado would certainly work as the oil for you instead. Okay, that, I'll save the rest of that cucumber for the salad, which is going to be yummy and amazing. The soup smells great. I'm going to turn the heat off that and let it cool a little bit before we blend it. But I think one of the things you're going to see is that these ideas are so simple, right? You start with maybe one marinade. Let's see, I want rice on the whole bottom of this thing, you guys. Who am I kidding? I want it to be like really plentiful. Put a little bit more down there, just for kicks. Yeah, let's just fill her up. Oh, you guys can't see it from that angle, but I've got a lot of rice in there, you know. This will be like a rice for 4 people. No, nobody's talking too much. Are you kidding me? Talk away. Plus, you're just typing. It's fun to have a conversation with you all. Okay, let's put the tofu, which has been sitting in that marinade. I'm just messing around, by the way. There's no magic to what I'm doing. There's no method to the magic here that's happening. I don't consider myself a particularly gifted food stylist. I make it taste good. Other people make it pretty. Okay. I'm going to keep going because I have a little bit more. I've got the avocado. What other ingredients am I forgetting? Let's see. Cucumber, carrot, green onion, avocado, sesame seeds. I think that's it. Oh my gosh, but I'm going to show you guys the most exciting trick, which I can't do on this avocado because I opened it earlier, but I'm going to show you on the next one. Sorry, I do that to get the pit out, right? So that's kind of a dangerous thing that I just did where you put your knife in it and you twist. Because if it slips or it slips here and you cut yourself, we don't want that, right? I'm about to make a really loud noise to get the pit off the bottom of this. What I do is I hit the knife on the side of the garbage can and the pit goes flying off, okay? So excuse the noise. There we go. But when I do the next avocado, I'm going to show you this trick that my friend Justin did online, and it blew my mind, and it totally works, and it's the coolest thing ever. So I'm just going to scrape a little bit of the brown off of this because this avocado has been sitting out, and I didn't cover it. Not a very good avocado keeper today, but I was distracted working on my cookbook. Okay, I'm just going to scoop the flesh out of this and dice it. They're so slippery that they're kind of hard to dice perfectly if you're like wearing gloves or put oil on it. We don't have to be that perfect around here. I'm just going to slice, slice, slice. Ooh, we could leave it in slices, but well, let's see what it looks like. It's already falling apart on me. Slippery. Nope, I'm in a mess. Let's just dice it. I probably would have liked it sliced better because, again, it's one more shape that's a little bit different to look at. Let's put it over by the carrots. And then I've got the green onions I want, right? And I'll put some sesame seeds on this as well. Woo! It's going to be good. Even when I think I'm being clean, I'm being messy. It's actually kind of funny. Let's just own our weirdness in 2023. What do you guys say? I say we own the things that make us quirky and unique. Okay, I want that there. I'm not going to need more of that because I have enough for my chopped salad. I'm going to save some carrots for that salad as well. But I want my green onion, and then I think I'll use mint in this salad as well. Maybe I'll find something else in the fridge. Let's see. Because I'm using a lot of mint tonight. I didn't mean to. Mint. Oh, I have basil and chives. Ooh, chives in my other salad. And basil. And where are my green onions? There they are. Okay. Any other questions? See? Or no, nobody else is talking. You can ask away. I'm just going to rinse these green onions. It really would be amazing if I had a built-in cooktop here, right? Where I could be looking at you with the sink in the middle so I didn't have to walk away every time. That's in my next dream house. Okay. Let's see. Did I get all the dirt off these? I'm just going to peel kind of like this one outer piece off that looked dirty to me. Sometimes they just have like one little piece. This one looks good. Okay. I like to use the white and the light green parts when we're eating a lot of raw green onion. It's very, I've been told it's very Caucasian of me. Also known as basic. Do you mix the seed lip or abstinence with anything? You do, Ruth. And you know what? They tell you what proportion. I believe on this one they say use like 1.5 ounces of the abstinence mixer with like 7 ounces of club soda or tonic. So they give you different recipe ideas on the side. And they also both have Instagram feeds where they give you different ideas. Like on Seed Lip, it's like they have great recipes for margaritas without alcohol and all kinds of like classic cocktails. It's pretty cool. What's the other one that makes non-alcoholic versions of things like whiskey and tequila? And so they're meant to truly taste. It's called Ritual. 0 proof alcohol. So there's some really interesting things you can do. But they all have measurements on there for you. Okay. I like my pretty green onion sliced on the bias. I'll show you again. So cute, right? So cute, so cute. I'm going to sprinkle it near the tofu because the tofu can be kind of like just not that exciting. But then to gild the lily, as we say, let's sprinkle some black sesame seeds on it for color, which I know I already took out because I meased everything. Let's put them on the avocado and the tofu. You can put it, well, now I'm putting it on everything. Normally what I'd want is to be able to leave part of the rice out so you can see that the rice is part of the bowl, right? But let's drizzle a little bit more of this marinade over it because normally I would add some salt to the avocado, same to the cucumber and the carrots just to bring out their flavors, but instead we'll just drizzle a little of this marinade over it. Yummy, right? Oh, wait, I forgot herb. Let's do, I am going to use mint for this one. I'll put basil in our salad, okay? Okay, I'll talk. Wow. Survived. Clearer mind, better sleep, amazing. Erna, Isn't it crazy? How long did it take for your sleep to improve? I am always shocked at how much better I sleep on a clean diet. And I drink caffeine every morning, but when I've taken it out entirely, I'm shocked. I mean, like any of the thing where you wake up in the middle of the night, all of that disappears for me. That's incredible. Congratulations. 1.5 nights. Wow. I'm thinking really closely here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the mint next to the green onion, because then if you wanted to like take a fork or a spoon and you want to kind of mix it together, you could. Or you can just like pick at the herbs and mix those in as you go. Shall I try it? Discovered all those faux coffees. Do report. Cherry juice at night, amazing. What do you think of the faux coffees? And if you liked them, share a brand with us, because I just can't get excited about them. I know I'm supposed to. I've had them before. Okay, since I'm going to give most of this away, I'm so glad they're not watching. If they are watching, I would crack up. I'm just going to kind of like give myself a bite from over here. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything so I can do that Food Network commentary. Mm. You guys, it's really good. It's really good because of the marinade. Dang! I'm putting more of it on here because if my friends are going to eat it for dinner, they're going to want it. Hold on, I'm just going to make myself one more little bite. I'll find links before end of call. They taste like a mediocre instant coffee from the 70s, but it's healthy. What the hell? Yeah. I don't know what I think. Here's what I think. I'm really not a fan typically of substituting something for something great. Like substitute weird sugar things and all of that. However, I'm like hyper weird about it. And so if it still gives you the satisfaction of having like a hot liquid and it tastes okay, then hooray. This is 2 thumbs up. I think this is delicious. Oh my God, I'm very excited about this. Okay, we're gonna put it right over here so I stop eating it. I'm gonna cover it so the avocado doesn't turn color. And if anybody needs a little break to get themselves something to eat or drink, some caffeine-free fake coffee, some cherry juice, I'm just going to move these things out of the way, and I'm going to set this for our salad. I am going to show you how to make the shallot vinaigrette. I have the other ingredients for the salad pretty much ready to go. So what I'm going to do is build it in a big salad bowl. But I'm going to let the shallot sit in a little bit of the vinegar for a few minutes just to soften up a little bit, okay? So let's call this a 3-minute break. Not like it matters. Come and go as you please. Feel free to move about the cabin, as they say. I still need these. I still need these vegetables. I'm just going to talk to myself. Nothing is a substitute for good coffee. I'm with you, Susan. We try, right? No, I want those herbs. I'm trying so hard to clean up my mess, folks. I don't need this chunk of Asian pear, although I could put this in my salad instead of apple. That's all I'll do. And then okay. Let's see. I want my herbs. Again, still talking to myself. Still on break here, folks. I should teach Caitlin how to edit this part out when she posts it. Almost there. Almost ready for you. Missing one ingredient. Excuse me. Woo. free 10 days. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would need a warm beverage too. Actually, what I've decided about coffee is that I like the smell of it more than anything. It's like knowing that I get to smell the coffee in the morning. I sometimes find myself leaving like a half a cup around. It's just the routine of it and the ritual. So if I found anything that kind of did it for me, I would be into it. Dandy blend beverage. Dandelion. Oh my gosh, it's probably, if there's dandelion in it, it's probably so good for you. And my fellow cleansers at my yoga studio got on board. That's amazing. That's amazing that you all did it. So are you back on it now or not? Are you back to coffee? And if so, how are you feeling with it? I'm curious about that too. Okay, friends, I'm almost done setting up my little knees for the next round here. And you know what we'll do is I'm going to bring my salad bowl. I already got that ready, right? So I'm going to build this huge salad in here. This is what I eat out of when I make myself salads at lunch. It's hilarious. But I'm going to take the carrots and the green onions and the cucumber I already have and put them right in. So again, this is kind of like, these are all things that I enjoy eating every day. But the things that make this salad special for me are like, I love goat cheese. I love some sort of fruit in it. So I'm going to use a little bit of this Asian pear. I like having nuts in it. So I'm going to toast some almonds. I cooked off some chicken for us, and I'm going to show you kind of the weirdest little hack ever. That's really awesome for chicken tenderloins that I learned on the internet. It's kind of scary. I've got herbs. I can put, let's put a little bit more green onion in this. I'm just going to build this salad by chopping all of these things up and kind of like putting them away as I go. You know, I'm cleaning myself out of my mess. This is kind of what I do when I go to the grocery store anyhow. I take everything out and I just use it all. And eventually it's all put away because it's cooked. I use it for cooking. Or any spare pieces I put back in the fridge, right? Okay. There's my green onion. And I've got carrot, right? Oh, I have tomatoes as well. Let's put more of this green onion in there. And then what I could do is if you were doing this once during the week and you didn't want to have to chop everything every day, you could chop a bunch of this stuff and put it in one bowl and not dress it, right? And then just pull some out every day. It would probably be fine for a couple of days like that. It wouldn't wilt, things wouldn't wilt too much. I wouldn't put like a bunch of fresh herbs in it, or your avocado, of course. Then it would turn brown and sad. Let's put the Asian pear in it. I'm just cutting around the core. I'm going to dice this. I think I call for apple in it. You can certainly use anything you like. But I like a dice. I love Asian pear. It's got the texture, the crunch of an apple. Sweetness, more of a pear. I'm such a fan. I think it's my favorite fruit. Oh, I also had a couple strawberries out. I also have pomegranate seeds. I have every fruit under the sun today. Speaking of under the sun, have any of you watched Under the Tuscan Sun? I know that the movie's like 20 years old. This is a leading question, by the way. Anyone? I watched it for the first time last year, like maybe 6 months ago, and I loved it so much. I knew I'd love it. I love Diane Lane, but it really does make me want to go to Italy. I think I'm supposed to live in a small village somewhere. Maybe it's not Italy. Maybe it's like Croatia or Portugal. But I think I'm going. At least for part of the year. I mean, why not, right? Okay. Okay. I have pear, carrot, cucumber, green onion. This is where my kids would go, ew, because I'm going to add goat cheese. I'm going to crumble some on the side. They're not here. They're not eating it. Not their problem. I'm winning. let's also take some chicken, which I already cooked because I was cheating since I had the time. And speaking of time, 6:05, perfect. We'll be done by 6:30. I just want to give myself a little time before I do Instagram live tonight because you guys, I'm going to start talking about the epiphany I've had about House of Haas and how I'm going to put all of the classes from here on out underneath the House of Haas subscription. So no more paying for anything outside of your subscription. I had a moment where I realized that's just totally a ridiculous way to try to market and sell. And one of my main goals when I started this was to make this accessible to everybody. And I just think it's silly to try to chase dollars a million different ways. So we're going to simplify. And if you've already given me all of your money, like so many of you generous people have, you'll get an email from me saying, you can either put it towards other people. I will refund your money on this wellness class because I want it to be accessible to everyone, or we've got other options. But you guys are the reason I do this all the time, and I just want to make it accessible to as many people as humanly possible. So no more selling classes separately from House of Haas. Anything I do, including the wellness course, meal planning courses, guest chefs, they're all just going to be included in House of Haas, okay? So then all I need is for you all to get on board and tell the whole wide world about House of Haas. And they can do it a month at a time if they want for $9.99. They can do VIP every month for $19.99, or they can buy it by the year. But I think it's a banging deal for $10 a month, right? And then everybody has access to all the old classes as long as they're subscribed. So that people can come and go as they please. And it's like Netflix, right? If you want to tune in because you know something great's coming up and then unsubscribe, you can. But I think it's silly for me to try to charge 8,000 different ways for 8,000 different classes. And it's confusing on my end too. It's a really big pain if you're signing up for things separately and accessing them. So like when you go to your account, anything you've signed up for, it's all going to be in one place and it will always be there. Good, right? So I'm going to start telling the world about it tonight. Okay, next up on this party train, I've got my chicken. Let's make the vinaigrette so it can hang out for a second. I have the shallot, and all I wanted to do, oh, thanks, Ruth. You know what I came to realize is like, this is all I want to do. I just want to teach cooking with you all. And wait, Erna, how lovely is that? A little date night. Yay. Enjoy it. I don't even know where you live, do I? You don't have to share. That's creepy. But have a great date night. That sounds fun. So I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, that I share it all. Yeah, I just think we should make it easy for everybody. And of course, I want to make a living at this. And I think that I should. And I think I can make great money doing this. And we can give so much to charity, right? I'm still going to give 10% of everything to some outstanding organizations. I think it's silly to try to do classes that cost more, cost less. No, let's just do it all the same. And let's just get excited about what that costs and how little that costs and spread the word and everybody's happy, right? This, my friends, these are enormous shallots. Shallots normally have two halves to them, hiding in one shell, one skin. I'm going to cut the top off of this to show you. So here's a little tiny one and here's a big one, right? So I'm going to cut the other side off too. These are humongous. This is why when you write a cookbook, you realize how subjective it is when you're like one shallot. I mean, a shallot normally with two halves is like that big, but then here we have this humongous one. So that's why a lot of times I'll call for something like a unit of something, and then I'll tell you how much it equals when it's chopped or sliced or something, because it's very confusing. So this is a ton of shallot, but I'm going to make a ton of dressing because I'm going to give half of it away. So let's just use this whole shallot. I'm just taking its thin skin off, which is very persnickety. What a word. I love that word. It's very persnickety. And there we go. Come on. A lot of times you end up taking a couple layers off because it's so thin, it's very hard to pull. And I am going to mince this. Now, shallots are my fave because they're mild. So you still get a little bit of this allium, garlicky, onion flavor without it being like pow in your face, right? So here we go. Yep, that one I cut in half too. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm kind of mincing it, right? I'm trying to get it pretty fine because it's going to be in this vinaigrette. And we're going to shake it up in this jar. And it'll be hanging out in there as it gets used all week. So you don't want huge chunks, but unlike garlic, it's not going to like kill you if you get a big bite. It's not going to ruin your day with smell. I talk to myself so much when I cook. How fun that you guys are all becoming friends. People saying, good night, Ernie. That's the thing that makes me the happiest about this community. It's actually a community that we're building. It's not a bunch of strangers. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm about to start crying because that's the real deal. Let's take, okay, champagne vinegar. I'm not even looking at the ingredients for this recipe, you guys. Tell me if I add Dijon mustard. I don't know. I probably do because I put it in everything, but this is a little heavy on the shallots. Whoops. I'm going to make a ton of vinaigrette. Who am I kidding? Woo! Nelly. Cry, cry, cry. That's what happens when I don't turn on my gas cooktop. Ah! Okay. Woo! Get a lid on that. I need more champagne vinegar is what I need. Hold, please. I think I have more aged sherry, champagne, vinegar. Here we go. Okay. Cry, cry, cry. Cry me a river. Justin Timberlake and me. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to wipe this down and I'm going to get the shallot essence, tears, rinsed down. Yes, for the mustard. Thanks, Jenny. I'm going to grab some. I mean, I should have known, right? And then do I add honey or maple syrup to sweeten it a little bit? I bet I do, because that sounds like something Amanda would do. That sounds like a move I would make. Dijon. What if I'm out? Oh my gosh, I use a lot of this. I go through it like crazy. Okay. Let's see here. That's not exactly a lot of Dijon considering how much vinaigrette I'm making. Honey, okay, good. Thanks, Kate. You know what I should have done? I should have made the vinaigrette in the Dijon mustard jar because then when you shake it, you get every little drop of Dijon out of there. It's not too late for that jar. Okay, honey, 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 honey. Where did I? Oh, there it is. It could be a game. How many times I walk off camera tonight, huh? Squeeze it up. It's probably more than I normally use, but like I said, this is going to make a ton of vinaigrette. I'm going to fill this puppy with oil, and then I'll probably divide it into another container and use even more oil. Salt, salt, salt. There we go. Stir, stir, stir. Put the lid on it for a minute. Shake. So I workout for today. There we go. And now let's do the rest. I need lettuce. Which I have right over here in my bag of tricks. Ooh, I have tomatoes. I have dates. I have so many yummy little things to put in this salad. This is what I love about it. So you make a good vinaigrette, and then you have something like chicken or hard-boiled egg or both, or even tofu in some way, shape, or form that you like. And you just mix up ingredients. This lettuce has been like quadruple washed, so I'm not going to worry about it. You can certainly wash it again if you are worried. How's everybody doing? So good? Fenna, it will keep for at least a week with the shallots in it. The vinegar is a lifesaver. I'm just trying to cut my lettuce into like a little bit more manageable pieces because it's kind of like you're cutting ribbons when they're really wide, right? So I think that is probably going to be about the right amount of lettuce for how much other yummy stuff I have in this salad, but we're going to decide in a minute. Now I want my chicken. These are chicken tenderloins that I baked on a sheet pan with a little olive oil, fennel seeds, salt, and pepper. Hi, Lori. Thanks for tuning in. And then I let them cool. I cooked them for 15 minutes at 350, 375. I let them cool and I kind of shredded them up. You can dice them. You can roast regular chicken breast. You can use any kind of protein that you like. Shrimp would be great in this salad. Steak, obviously. Salmon. But I'm going to just dump all the chicken right in here. And then I'm going to show you my gross chicken tenderloin trick at the end of this on my cutting board, okay? After we've done all the cooking. And again, I'm warning all of you, if my friend walks in, don't be scared. It'll just be my cue to wrap it up. He's nice. I don't hang out with anybody who's not nice. Okay, in you go, lettuce. So we've got Asian pear, green onion, cucumber, carrot, goat cheese, chicken, a bunch of lettuce. Let's put in some, I'm not going to do the strawberries because I have the Asian pear, but I do have a couple dates here that are pitted and I want to put them in. I'm just feeling crazy. Yay, Lori, what a fun, wow, that's a long work day, is it not? You were gone for a long time. I'm sure I'm confusing all the days, but when I hop on Instagram Live early in the mornings and you're on there, and then late at night, I feel like I spend half my day just messing around because when you work from home and you wear your pajamas half the day, you kind of get away with murder. Okay, so I've got dates, because those are fun, right? Certainly don't have to use those. I'm going to put some tomatoes in it, and I'm going to cut these and toss them because I know that my friends are going to eat most of this tonight. Otherwise, I would probably put the tomatoes in at the last minute because the seeds, they get kind of gross. I thought your response, Lori, said it's baby time. I'm like, who's having babies at your school? But that's because my eyes don't work. That's about right for me these days. Okay. Now, should we toast some nuts to put in this too? I think we should. I think we should just toast a few almonds. And then we'll finish the vinaigrette and we'll puree the soup. And we'll be done. Okay, so to toast my almonds, I'm going to heat up a pan. Just this little pan. Let's make sure I do have some almonds. I know I do. The question is, where did I put them? I probably put them where they belong, back in the pantry. Maybe? No? Maybe not? Yes, no, maybe so? Huh. No? I feel like you guys could be screaming at me. They're right behind you. And they are! Ta-da! Slivered almonds. Okay, so let's heat this up. And we'll give this pan a minute. And while we do that, I am going to put some of the soup into the blender carafe, which is right here. The soup has been cooling, as you all know. My little cheese crisps for kicks. And then just go straight in. You know what? All of this might work in here. Let's just see. I'm going to go for it only because it's not hot, guys. This is more than you'd want, but I'm not worried. Living on the edge. Okay. Oil, pan, nuts. Just like enough for fun. I'm going to call for a fun amount in my next recipe. A fun amount of almonds. How much? Just a fun amount. A little bit of salt. I need more salt. Then I'm using Himalayan instead of kosher only because I've been cooking with it for that other project I worked on. A lot of people like Himalayan salt for health benefits. I need to look into that more in terms of, I think, like from an electrolyte standpoint, it's good. Did you make a zero-proof libation? Lori, my friend sent me this new product, and I tried it. I like it. It's called Abstinence. It's from South Africa, and it has arrived in America. This is a bitter orange one, and then they have a Cape Citrus that I like as well. I like bitter, so I like the bitter orange. But I don't know what they cost. I'm curious. I'll let you know. But I like them. They're tasty. And I just mix them with sparkling water. They say you can do tonic too, which would probably be yummy if you like tonic. Okay, look at this. I'm going to be wild. I'm just putting the warm almonds right there on the chicken. We're not even letting them cool. I'm rebelling, guys. It's 6:21 on a Wednesday night. I'm living on the edge. Okay, so let's finish the vinaigrette, shall we? It's got honey, shallots. You could use maple syrup if you don't like honey. We've been through that. You can use olive oil or avocado oil. We've got champagne vinegar. I'm just going to fill this puppy up because with the shallots and the amount of champagne vinegar in there, we're going to want a lot of oil. It's probably still going to be pretty tart. But allowing the shallots to sit in that acid first is going to just soften them up and mellow their flavor. Oh, you know what this needs is salt and pepper. I'm going to try this with a piece of lettuce before I dare put it on this salad. I wouldn't want to hurt this salad's feelings with a bad dressing. That'd just be rude. It's in your face, but I like it. I could just put some pepper on the salad. Ta-da! 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 I think I'll wait to dress it until I give it to my friend because why make it soggy if you don't have to, right? That's a nice move on my part. I'm a nice friend. That's good. I like it. Don't tell. Oh, good. It's good. Approved, as I like to say. Approved. Should we put herbs in it? I'll let him decide. Friends, that's flippin' delicious. I'm moving this over to my self-serve counter, along with the cheese toasts. Yeah, that's good. Don't mind if I say so myself. Okay, I've got the tofu. Soup. Okay. I might regret this. I always tell people do not fill it more than halfway full. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid with the middle part out, and I'm going to slowly blend this to puree it. Where the flip is the top. Here it is. I lost the top part anyhow in the center, so you want to make sure steam can escape when you've been working with something that's hot, okay? Obviously, this soup has been cooled, but if it were hot, you could really hurt yourself. So I want you to be careful, okay? I'm going to put it on its lowest speed to start to puree it. I don't think any steam is coming out, which means I let it cool enough. This is fun. He says, see you soon. Let's tell him. Let's send him a picture that we're still teaching. I'm going to send a video. Isn't this funny? We're still teaching and we're almost done with your dinner, Jorge. Isn't that funny that we can do that? Okay. I'm so excited. We're going to just send that, and that's funny because technology is fun. Isn't it? Okay. Oh, it smells amazing. That's the thing. We're so lucky in that we can literally put tomatoes in a can and keep their flavor. This is going to be incredible. Let's see. I'm going to use 2 spoons so I don't double dip. Oh my God. It's amazing that there's no cream in this soup. Oh my word. It's so good, you guys. It does need a little more salt. I think it needs a little more mint. It could actually probably use another squeeze of lime juice, but I'm kind of aggressive. So let's cool it. Let's cool my jets. And just put more mint in. I'm just going to kind of halfway tear it up before I put it in. Oh, you know what else would be good? Just to kind of like a little bit richer, a little bit more olive oil. Again, starting at the slowest speed. I don't want this going onto the ceiling. Okay. So this is the spoon I put in it because it's still got soup on it. And I just, ooh, it's good. Yeah, I want a little olive oil in there. Just for a little richness. Yeah, here we go. And then with those little Parmesan cheese crisps, you guys. So good. Let's get this out of the way. It's so good. This is going to be amazing. I think they've already tried this before, but hopefully Philip, the tutor, will enjoy it. It's good. Approved. Definitely approved. Friends, it's so delicious, and I've loved doing this. Raise your hand if you want me to see me end with my gross chicken trick for how to remove the tenderloin from the chicken tenderloin, like the little fibrous part itself. I learned it as a hack, and it's not attractive. Yes, please? Okay. Okay, we got 2 yeses. If you're a no, speak now or forever hold your stomach or just turn it off. Okay, I'll be right back. Here we go, folks. Drum roll. Get excited. Okay. Here's what you do. I understand why Oprah sings all the time. I don't know. When I get excited, I sing the words. But let me just clean this up because there's nothing worse than looking at a gross countertop. And then we shall do the trick of all tricks. I mean, I want that music again, that pump up music that they do for NBA games and stuff. Y'all ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, I'm going to use the same board because I'm not going to use it again tonight. Here we go, folks. Where's my darn tenderloin? So right over here, and it's so gross yet so amazing. Are we ready? It's like walk-up music. Exactly. Dun, dun, dun. Introducing the shortstop. Introducing the pitcher, catcher, Buster Posey. Okay, you guys, I will wash my hands thoroughly after this. I'm moving my ring so it's not on the hand I'm going to use. This is a stupid chicken tenderloin that they sell you at the store for extra money. It comes attached to the chicken breast. It's a small piece that you can pull off a chicken breast. And right when they make chicken tenders, this is what they're using. But it normally has this white, it's like silver skin running through it. See that little white piece? And it goes all the way down. You can cook it with it in, and then what happens is you're stuck with like just a chewy piece, or wait for it. I need paper towel to do this properly. Okay, here we go, folks. You know what? Besides walk-up music, we also need the ability to drum roll. I need to teach a kid in my house how to play my drum set, and we could get the snare drum out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape. I'm going to use the back of the knife to find it. This is so gross yet so cool. It's like science class. Can you see it? It's all the way down. And now I'm going to get under it. And you can just, let's just flip it over. You just pull the other direction from it. Oh, wait. There's even a cooler way to do it. I forgot. You put it in a fork. You put it between two fork tines, and it captures more of the meat. Someone's going to watch this class as their first class and be like, no, thank you. Okay. Pull. Look at it. Ta-da. There it is. There's the horrible piece you don't ever want to see again. And here's your ugly tenderloin. But then you can cut it however you want, and there's no more yuckiness in it. Cool, right? Magical unicorn. Oh my God, so good. Well, that was fun. I'm so glad I taught you that. Friends, are there any other questions before I wrap it up for the evening? As always, I've had a blast with you. I promise I'll go wash my hands thoroughly. I don't even know what's next. We're doing this again next Wednesday night. I think we're doing dinners right before I move on to snacks. And then, yeah, we've got so much more coming. We're changing this weekend's meditation session to next week or the week after. We'll send you an email. And Lori, I'm so glad it was the best 30 minutes of your day. It's always the best couple hours of mine, that's for sure. I'll be on Instagram Live at 7 p.m. talking about House of Haas and the changes we're making, friends. So as always, thank you so much. Love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks, KQ. Ciao. Oops, did I stop it? Yes.